If you leave a like on this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel right now, you know what? You'll have a good day. Hope you have a good day, man. Thank you for watching my content. What's up, everybody? Watt007 here, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Leak video. And today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Leak video is going to be a mix of being leaked content and also a discussion video, because today I'm going to be talking about some brand new skills that got leaked about a week ago related to Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's world and related to a character called PRIMO and related to Meklords and all that fun stuff right there. So, hope you guys are excited for today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Leak video. Sorry for being so late when it comes to covering this new content. I've been extremely busy at work and I haven't had that much time that I would have liked to invest into content and whatnot, but we're here now. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get into today's leak / discussion video for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Now, how this video is going to be laid out is, first I'm going to go talk about the leaks themselves, and I'm going to give you guys my first impression thoughts on all these new skills for PRIMO or any other character related to Meklords, and we're going to talk about those first, and then afterwards I'll give you guys my thoughts and opinions on like when we're going to get this new update, what is going to be going on for Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's world, etc, etc. So that will be more at the end of the video. If you want to, you can go to the description down below and check the timestamps, because the timestamps will tell you guys the exact like stuff that does get talked about in today's video. But nonetheless, let's go take a look at the first skill. We're going to take a look at Synchro Compression Drug, which is definitely a weird name for a skill, and I have no clue if that's going to be like the official one when it gets into the game. But anyways, Synchro Compression Drug states, you can use this skill at the start of your turn. If you control one Meklord Emperor Weasel, you can put one Synchro monster from your opponent's graveyard to his field in defense position. You know, now thinking about it, I don't know why I called Meklord Emperor Weasel, but you know what? You know, tomato type of thing. But let's also go talk about this card itself and then go back to the original skill. So Weasel here is a level 1 Dark Machine effect monster that states, cannot be normal summoned / set, must be special summoned by its own effect, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. When a face of monster you control is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. Other monsters you control cannot declare an attack. Once per turn you can target a synchro monster your opponent controls, equip that target to this card. This card gains attack equal to the combined attack of the monsters equipped to it by this effect. Once per turn during each player's turn, when your opponent activates a spell card, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Now, for you guys that did watch Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, you guys will know that this was one of the first antagonist cards that Yusei had to go against in Season 2 of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, and Weasel is going to be pretty interesting when we do get it in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I don't think it's like a horrible card, but I also don't know if it's going to be like competitively viable. But the fact that we're going to be getting this card some point in the future, and then the skill that I just talked about, Synchro Compression Drug, they're going to go both hand in hand for really cool combos, because thanks to Synchro Compression Drug, you can utilize this skill when you have Weasel on your field, or you can take one of your opponent's Synchro monsters in their graveyard and put it onto your field. So it's going to be harder for your opponents to kind of play around you when you're going to be utilizing this deck in the first place. And I think that is pretty OP in some ways, because you can like take out your opponent's strong Synchro monster, and then like later in the duel you need to summon Weasel. You can summon your Weasel, use the skill, and then get that Synchro monster on the field. And like I read with Weasel here, you can utilize its ability where you can target a Synchro monster your opponent controls and equip it to Weasel, and then your Weasel gets the attack equal to the combined attack of the monster equipped by this to this effect. So really spicy right there, that's for sure. So yeah, if you like sack your opponent's Stardust Dragon, and then you can just activate the skill, special summon it back into your opponent's side of the field, and then use Weasel's ability to just scoop it up, and then once you do that, you get to have a 5,000 attack monster, which is pretty spicy, that's for sure. So I gotta say, that skill is pretty good, helps out the archetype a lot, and it's cool that we have the skill leaked, because it kind of confirms that at some point Konami is going to be considering to add Meklords into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Now, the next skill we're going to take a look at is a skill called Double Synchro Rescue. This skill states, if you don't control any monster at the start of your main phase, summon from your graveyard in defense position a Synchro monster and a Tuner Synchro monster, which level is different. Now, this skill is really cool, because this is an indicator that Konami is also considering to add ACCEL Synchro Summoning into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. And I kind of thought this when it came to ACCEL Synchro Summoning for Duel Links, is that they're going to have to incorporate a way to utilize a skill to really get ACCEL Synchro Summoning going, simply for the fact that we only had 3 monster zones in the game, and since we only have 3 monster zones in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, it's very hard to go for the crazy ACCEL Synchro Summoning combos, because you need the Synchro Tuner, which you need a couple monsters on the field to do so, and then you need a Synchro monster, which you need a couple monsters on the field to synchro into, and it would be very clustered and very hard to do with 3 monster zones. But with a skill like Double Synchro Rescue, you can definitely utilize the skill to help you out for going for an ACCEL Synchro Summoning, which is cool. And then speaking of ACCEL Synchro Summoning, it's cool that Konami is considering this, especially for the fact that Bruno, aka Antony, has been leaked in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links for like years now. Right before Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's World came out into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, we had a ton of character leaks way back, and we had just character leaks for just like a ton of 5D's characters, and one of the last one that was on that set of leaks that did not get into the game yet is Antony, and it would be cool that, you know, since we have a skill that we talked about earlier in today's video related to PRIMO, we have a skill talking about ACCEL Synchro summoning. It's going to be pretty cool to see some of this content that we're going to be getting related to Season 2 of, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. It's cool that Konami is considering to do that, which is going to be awesome. And then the last skill we're going to take a look at is MEKLORD Emperor Weissel Special Use Acceleration. Use 1 speed counter to use this skill. You can select a skill depending on how many counters you used. So what's going to be neat about this is that I'm going to guess that whenever we do get any, you know, events related to the MEKLORD and PRIMO and whatnot, it's definitely going to be a event related to turbo dueling, because we do get turbo dueling in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links depending on a 5Ds event. So this skill right here is going to probably be an event exclusive skill, I'm going to assume, since we currently do not have turbo duel PvP in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. So due to that, there's that, and that's kind of my thoughts there too. But it's cool that we have another MEKLORD skill, simply for the fact to just kind of talk about that, yo, it's pretty cool that we have some leaks hinting towards PRIMO and Meklords, and we also have a different leak related to ACCEL Synchro summoning, and all these leaks go together for Season 2 of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. So I hate to say it, but that's kind of it when it comes to leaks for today's YouTube video. I could also talk about some of the DSOD Taya stuff that we've been getting, so the stuff confirmed on Duel Links itself, and then some other like leaks for DSOD Taya, but I'm not going to talk about them in this video only because like DSOD Taya is coming out in a couple days, and maybe by the time that I upload this video, Taya is going to be out like sooner than that, because I don't know when I'm going to upload this video that you guys are watching right now. But at the time that I'm recording this, DSOD Taya is going to be coming in a couple days. So due to that, I'm only talking about those leaks in today's video, but like I said earlier at the beginning of today's video, I want to talk about kind of like my thoughts and opinions, like what is going to be going on when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's World, because it looks like that Konami is going to be definitely going in the direction of adding a lot of content for Season 2 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and definitely going to be kind of done with the whole Season 1 stuff, which actually makes a lot of sense. Because first of all, in one of my previous leak videos that I made a video on, we talked about Crashdown Kallen, and there was some skills related to Crashdown Kallen, and I think that that event's actually going to get added sooner rather than later into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, because we already have a second form of Carly in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. We have Dark Center Carly, and now we have normal Carly Carmine, and it would make a little bit of sense for Konami to then add Crashdown Kallen's probably going to come sooner into Duel Links rather than later. Don't have a good estimated time on when we're going to be getting Crashdown Kallen, but fingers crossed that we'll get him in July, and hopefully one of the upcoming updates lists that we'll be getting soon in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links will confirm that. So that's pretty cool right there. And besides Crashdown Kallen, we're also getting a lot of other like stuff related to Season 2, like the leaks I just talked about in today's video with PRIMO and Antony, you know, skills related to both of those characters that could easily be skills for those characters if we get them in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. And then on top of that, for some Season 2 content that I actually didn't talk about in one of my videos, if I remember correctly, is the fact that there was also some other hints for ACCEL Synchro summoning earlier in this year. We actually had some assets in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links specifically for ACCEL Synchro summoning. So ACCEL Synchro summoning and Season 2 content has been in the back pocket for Konami for a while now, and it's just really nice to see that we're finally getting around to seeing this content in the leaks, and then hopefully in the near future, probably after Zexal World comes out into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, we'll probably see a ton of content for Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds related to Season 2 content, and we're going to be seeing that soon, in my opinion. Because how I kind of see the timeline for the Season 2 content is like, fingers crossed we get Kallen in July, and then kind of in August it'll be mostly related for DSOD, since we still don't have Agami in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links yet. So I think in August we'll be getting some stuff for Agami, and then in September we'll be getting the announcement of like the new world for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, most likely Zexal World, and then after that it's kind of like a ball game of like what Konami wants to do, and they'll probably start adding a lot of content related to Season 2 for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links in after Zexal release. It would be interesting too to see if they're going to go that direction, because adding ACCEL Synchro summoning and then also adding ACCEL summoning into Duel Links would actually be really interesting, kind of like in the same year of like the late 2020 and then early 2021 when it comes to like new summoning mechanics in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. So that'd be interesting, that's for sure. And I'm also curious to see what Konami's going to do when it comes to releasing the characters like PRIMO and whatnot, because for all we know, Konami could just release Aporia right away. Aporia is like the combination of like all three of the guys like PRIMO, and let me look up the other ones too. Oh yeah, Lester and Jacob. Yeah, Lester, Jacob, and Primo were like the three, and then they all formed together to form Aporia, and Aporia was like the one person, and then like Lester, Jacob, and Primo were all like different points of Aporia's life, but as different like people and whatnot. It's a lot of shenanigans. If you haven't watched season 2 of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, I strongly recommend it, because even though it's not as good as season 1, it's still super good as a whole, and that's why Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D is like another thing that I just love so much, because just as a whole, it's such a good show. And it would be cool to see like how they're gonna like incorporate that. I'm gonna guess that they are gonna go for Lester, Jacob, and Primo as like completely separate characters and not do Aporia right away, but like I don't know what Konami thinks. They sometimes do some wacky stuff, but yeah, I think they're gonna just keep them as like separate characters, and we'll probably just get Primo first and then Jacob and Lester later, just so that they have like different characters for the game, because depending on how they go for it, they could run out of characters to add into the game, but if they just go it like that, it's like 3 separate characters that they could add. So you know, it's something to think about, that's for sure. And literally the only thing that I'm upset about when it comes to like hearing this like season 2 content for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is the fact that it's like lowering the chances of getting Misty into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links even more than it already is. Because don't get me wrong, the percent of getting Misty, Treadwell, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is extremely low, but hey, we still do not have our Earthbound Immortal yet in the game. We also do not have Queen of the Tragic Endings in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. But I think like going from here on out when it comes to like trying to get Misty into the game, we should probably start asking Konami to just add Misty Treadle into the game and not Dark Signer Misty Treadle to the game, because I have no clue if Konami has any intentions to add any more Dark Signers in the game, considering that they're like going to be kind of moving to season 2 content for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and like since they already added Dark Signer Rex Goodwin into the game, which was the final like Dark Signer of the show. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna add any like Dark Signers anytime soon, but hey, if you guys want to add just Misty Treadle, you don't need to add Dark Signer Misty Treadle. If you want to add Misty Treadle to the game, make that happen, Konami. I'd appreciate that. Other than that, I think that's kind of like all my thoughts that I have at this current moment when it comes to just the leaks that we talked about in today's video, and kind of like what's my thoughts and opinions on how Konami is going to be moving Duel Links further in the year and in 2021. So that's kind of like my jumbled thoughts, because I could tell after recording this entire video for you guys, my thoughts were all over the place, and I have no clue how well this video is going to go for that fact, because like, yeah, like I said, my thoughts are all jumbled over the place, and I'm going to have a rough time editing this video because I like said a lot of things and I just kind of like stopped out of nowhere, and I got to figure out how to make it into a cohesive video for all of you guys. But nonetheless though, if you guys enjoyed this ramble type video for this, for this video, let me know in the comment section down below if you like these ramble discussion videos. Maybe I can do some more in the future if you guys did enjoy them, and all that fun stuff right there. And let me know in the comment section down below of what you guys think when it comes to the stuff that I talked about in today's video. Other than that, that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video, and I'll go see you guys at the next one.